innermost, the reality which does not appear, but which is there, and we don't know that is there. And if Ajahn wouldn't explain about it, we wouldn't even begin to think about something which we don't know it exists, like seeing or chitta. Every time that Ajahn begins to speak about chitta and seeing, it's like talking about a world which I've never been, I have no idea about, and even thinking about that which we don't know which is the pariyatti understanding, is already not easy at all. So I'll always try to consider carefully when Ajahn speaks about seeing and citta, but it's always difficult to follow.
Talking about not easy to follow before Ajahn discusses more, I just want to give a brief little summary of what we're talking about for the benefit of two new friends from New Zealand, friends of Tiny Tam, because they won't have understood anything that was said so far. So what Alberto was asking about Sue and Jude is, in life, usually we think about my experiences and my habits and what has occurred to me, but from the Buddha's teachings we begin to learn that there are just different moments of consciousness arising and falling away. Moments of seeing, moments of hearing, moments of tasting when eating breakfast, countless moments of thinking all day long. We think that it's an I that sees and hears and thinks, but we begin to consider whether there really is an I to be found, whether there really is a Suchin or Jonathan or Sarah, or whether there are just these moments of consciousness arising and falling away, experiencing their objects, each one gone forever, a bit like an electric current, one chitta, one moment of consciousness conditioning the next. The word that Alberto used is chitta, which means consciousness. So one moment of consciousness after another. And sometimes it's said that the consciousness is like the innermost reality. So this is what his question is about. We learn there are two kinds of realities. Those that experience an object, like the seeing sees what is visible, the hearing hears sound, and those realities that don't experience anything. For example, sound that is heard now. Sound doesn't experience anything, but it's heard. So two kinds of realities, those that experience and those that don't experience anything. And we learn about them in a little more detail to begin to consider whether there really is a self or a soul or something that is seen, something that is touched or not. So the teachings are quite deep, and if people use Pali terms for the start today, it's helpful to give a translation for the benefit of the newcomers.
And if I could just add, by way of general background, the present moment as we know it is a world of people and things. What the Buddha pointed out was that underlying that there could not be that the idea of the world of people and things unless there were moments of seeing and hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking about those sensed or experiences. Now, those actual moments of sensed or experiencing are not known to us. Our idea of the world is purely that of the concept of the people and things that is formed from those moments of direct experience. So Alberto's question is directed towards the understanding of those moments of experiencing of objects through the sense doors, specifically the eye door, so that there can be a better understanding of what the present moment really is, rather than our conceptualized version of it. Thank you.
Is there a moment now? See, always forgot. Is there a moment, just a moment, one moment now?
Yeah, but there must be one moment, because otherwise there wouldn't be nothing appearing.
And as much as everyone knows, there is a moment now for sure, but no understanding of the truth of what is there now, this moment at all. Is it right? That's why we learn to understand the ultimate truth of life. Life exists in just a moment, and how short it is, shorter than anyone can imagine how short it is. Just a moment of seeing. It's not the moment of hearing. It's not the moment of thinking. It's not moment of attachment or aversion. All are unknown. How many moments are there? In just we say a moment. Shorter than that. Much shorter. Because just a moment of seeing only one moment of seeing, and the other moment is not seeing, hearing, thinking, and so on. That's why in order to understand the truth of life, the ultimate truth, each moment has to be studied to learn to understand what is there. Otherwise, it's just moment of birth to death unknown, what are between birth and death at all. And now, this moment, what is the most precious of this moment? It is the moment of understanding the truth of what is there right now when it's there. For example, there is seeing, who thinks just about seeing only in a moment. No hearing, no thinking at all. But how many realities are there at moment of seeing? It's not known. Because seeing sees. If it hasn't arisen, how can there be seeing now sees? That's why we learn to understand the truth, to be true to the truth, little by little, to really understand the very subtle reality of this moment, of a moment to moment, so very subtle, no matter we are talking about. For example, just talking about seeing, is there any understanding of the nature of seeing? They're seeing all day, seeing every day. No understanding of seeing, even right now, that is seeing right now. That's why we learn to understand just the truth of life, the ultimate truth. That is seeing now. Can it arise by itself? Can anyone make it arise?
No.
Can it last?
No.
Each question, conditioned moment of understanding the very subtle truth of seeing. That seeing now is not the seeing just a moment ago. Different moments, different seeing. It cannot be the same, because moment to moment, one moment gone, so the other moment continue or follow instantly. So seeing right now is not seeing in the morning when we woke up, and on and on and on, and even right now. Seeing now is not the same seeing of just a moment ago. Is it right? To be true to the truth of seeing from the very beginning. And when there's no understanding of the nature of seeing, there must be the idea, I see. How come the I at the moment of seeing? No one else at all. Just that which sees. So who else? It's I. All the time. Not understanding it. Seeing cannot be taken for I at all, because it's gone, never to arise again, even right now. This is the beginning of be true to the truth, to understand the ultimate truth. Usually there is the idea all the time, I see, but in truth now, seeing is gone as soon as it has arisen. So no matter what appearing, it's conditioned to arise to be that very moment, hearing right now. Before hearing, there's no hearing. So how come hearing now? Who makes it arise? Impossible. It's there already, because it has a reason. Before anyone can think about, I try to hear, or I will hear, or something in control, or as I, or someone. That's why we learn about the truth of each moment from birth to death, as it is. This is not the moment of birth, right? So birth is just only one moment in life. Never more a moment of birth. Until death, there's no more moment of birth. That's why what followed the moment of birth? See? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, and liking, disliking, memory, feeling, and so on. Many realities are there by conditions. That's why begin to consider the truth, the ultimate truth. What is there appearing? It has a reason, and there must be its proper conditions for its arising. So the eye base or the eye sense cannot condition hearing, and the ear base cannot condition the seeing, all by conditions. Just to consider a very, very short moment of experiencing an object. So there must be now the reality which arises and experiences the object. Seeing, sees. The other moment, which is not seeing, cannot see at all. A moment of hearing, hears no one. Just the hearing, conditioned by the ear base or ear sense, and the sound. We don't have to say sound, but it's that which can impinge on the ear base. Only one reality which can impinge on the ear base. Condition hearing right now, and gone instantly. No more hearing. No, but that moment again in life. Is this true? So each moment is not permanent. It is conditioned to arise and fall away instantly, different by conditions. Moment of attachment is not moment of aversion. Moment of ignorance is not the moment of understanding. Is it true? And this is life. So without hearing about the ultimate truth of what is there right now, it's impossible to have any understanding of whatever is there from birth to death, on and on and on. Is it true?
So, just for the benefit of any newcomers, Ajahn mentioned about ultimate truth. We have two words, conventional truth and ultimate truth. So in conventional truth, this is a bottle, this is Jonathan, these are the flowers on the table. So this is the truth we're used to. Someone says, what is on the table? We say a glass, a bottle, a microphone, and so on. But the Buddha taught about another kind of truth, which we call ultimate truth. It doesn't matter what words are used, but it's referring to not what we are used to thinking of as the truth, but that which is the absolute truth, like seeing now, which Ajahn was mentioning. Seeing is a reality. It's true. It cannot be taken away, no matter whether it's the seeing at this moment, or the seeing that's gone, or the seeing of a frog in the room. It's just seeing consciousness, which arises, sees what is visible, and is gone. Usually there is the idea, I see. This is the conventional reality, the idea that I see a bottle of water. But the absolute reality is the seeing consciousness, which just sees color or visible object, and then so quickly there's thinking about different shapes, bottles, tablecloth, check pattern, and so on. So we distinguish between what is actually seen and what is thought about. The thinking is an absolute reality, but the ideas, the check tablecloth, the dreams we had in our sleep, the dreams we have now, thinking about people and places, these are conventional truths. But in truth, no flowers or check tablecloth in reality. She also mentioned about how life now is just in a moment. So there's a moment of seeing and it's gone, a moment of hearing and it's gone, a moment of thinking and it's gone. Nothing lasts at all. So the life and the true world is just at this very moment. Usually the conventional reality is we're in the resort in Pue, and you come from New Zealand, we come from Australia, and so on. But in the absolute truth, the world is just this moment of hearing sound, the world of thinking, just at this very moment. And she mentioned from birth to death. So from birth to death, there's a moment of consciousness arising and falling away, moments of seeing, moments of hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, endless thinking, each one arising for a moment and then gone. And we think that we can control life, we can decide where we're going to eat breakfast, whether to come to the discussion. This is the conventional idea. There's an I that can choose or decide. But actually, this moment of seeing or this moment of hearing arises by different conditions, not by the control of I. Who can decide what will be thought about next, or what will be heard next, or what will be seen next? So we live in the make-believe world of ideas that I am in control, when actually whatever arises in life arises by different causes and conditions. So this is a brief summary, but it's very deep. I don't know if you have anything you would like to ask about yet, Jude or Sue, before we go back to Alberto's. Yes. Does it sound very strange to you? Not too strange. Okay. One was yes and one no. Yes. Okay. Anyway, we appreciate that you've come to join us. And okay, Alberto, you can carry on in simple English.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah, for explaining the core of the teachings. No need to know about any Pali words, but need to listen to the teachings, which are so different from any other words that we can hear anywhere, anytime, any life. So I'll just listen carefully and do my best to consider what I'm hearing. That's the only thing that we can do. Listen to the teachings, because such a rare opportunity to improve one understanding of the truth which the Buddha taught to be understood.
These things we are discussing are not things that one could think of oneself or discover for oneself. Those of us who have any knowledge or familiarity with philosophers, for example, can appreciate that for other people it's all theory, but the Buddha's starting point was what can be directly known and understood at the present moment. And when you think about it, only what is appearing at the present moment can be directly known. And that's why in his teaching we hear about seeing and visible object, hearing and sound, and other realities, other things that are real, that is, that can be directly known at the present moment if they appear. Some of which I'll just mention briefly. For example, like and dislike, pleasant feeling and unpleasant feeling, anger, conceit, regret. These are all things, mostly mental states, the ones I've just mentioned, that arise from time to time, and when they arise, they can be known for what they are. And in the Buddha's teaching, the goal is not to work out why one is angry or upset, or why one likes this and dislikes that. The goal is the task is really just to understand the true nature of those moments. And because actually, when you think about it, life is just one moment of consciousness after another. Life is just the present moment of consciousness. The moments that have gone in the past, gone completely. We can't say they are life now. And of course, moments that haven't come aren't life at this moment. So the only thing that is life is what is real at the present moment. And from understanding the nature of those moments, one understands the nature of life itself. Quite simple in that respect. So it's not about theorizing about things. It's about understanding.
Have any questions or topics we'd like to bring up?
The core of the teachings is understanding. Is understanding boring?
Not at all.
See, because from ignorance to understanding, it takes quite a long time just to really understanding the truth of what is there. For example, we use the word seeing. What is it? Everyone knows seeing, but what is the reality of seeing? No one sees. Is that right? Because before seeing, there's no seeing. And then there's seeing and then gone. So can seeing belong to anyone, or can it be anyone or someone? Impossible. So what is the nature of seeing? It is a reality which arises and experiences the object which is seen. Is it right? No other reality can see. Only the seeing itself just arises to see and then gone, never to arise again, all day. The seeing now is not the seeing just a moment ago. And even now, it's not just seeing a moment ago. How fast it is, how quickly the arising and falling away of, now we use the word Dhamma, one word, from the very beginning. Many people might have heard about this term, Dhamma, but what is it? Whatever is real, it has its characteristic, its nature, its function to be known. For example, is seeing real? It's real. Is it anyone? Impossible. So whatever is real does not belong to anyone at all. Dhamma. So now, no matter what which is real, hardness is real. At moment of touching is there, so real. So hardness is a Dhamma. And the reality which experiences it is real. If there's no reality which arises and experiences hardness, hardness cannot appear at all. Even right now, the idea of the table is hard, but the hardness does not appear until touching. And we use the word touching. What is it? A reality arises and experiences hardness only. See, it cannot see, it cannot like. It's just moment of experiencing hardness. So whatever is real, no matter seeing, touching, liking, is Dhamma. Each one is Dhamma. All are Dhammas. Whatever is real. So this is the first word to understand whether it's true or not. No matter what is real, it has its characteristic. That which is seen is not that which is heard. No matter what word we use to represent it, even there's no word for it, it's heard. And the reality which hears it is only that which arises to hear. It cannot think, it cannot like. So there are so many different moments, different realities. Whatever is real is Dhamma. No matter what, whatever is real is Dhamma. And there are two different kinds of Dhamma. One arises now, experiences the object, the seeing. It's a Dhamma, it's real. And that which is seen is real because it's seen now. So that which is seen is Dhamma, it's real. So any reality, whatever is real, is a Dhamma. But seeing is not that which is seen, different Dhammas. So there are two kinds of Dhammas. One arises to experience, and the other arises but cannot experience at all. Hardness, taste, visible object cannot experience anything. But attachment is there now, unknown. It has reason and it is attached to the object, no matter that which is seen or heard or touched. That's why the reality which arises but cannot experience any object is Dhamma. So we use the different terms for different realities. The realities which arises and experience the object, we use the term Nama Dhamma. Little by little, just remember, when there is understanding, not just memorize the word, understanding the definition, but no understanding of the truth of it. So from now on, for those who understand what Dhamma is, as soon as hearing the word Dhamma, right understanding, begin to understand. It is a reality. It's not anything at all. Dhamma is heart, Dhamma is hearing, Dhamma is thinking, Dhamma is itching, no matter what. Whatever is there is Dhamma. But the Dhamma which arises and experiences the object is different from that which arises and does not experience at all. So the word for the reality which arises and experiences the object has another word, Nama, Dhamma. And that which cannot arise, which cannot experience anything is Rupa Dhamma. So now three words. Dhamma for all realities which are real. It has its own characteristic and it can never be changed at all. Seeing cannot like, it cannot hear, it cannot think. A reality, Nama. Seeing is Nama. Thinking cannot see, it cannot like. It's Anama. So in a day, no one, all are Nama Dhammas and Rupa Dhammas. And this is the world. What arises is a world. So the world is not permanent. As soon as it arises, it falls away instantly. The breaking world, each moment, unknown, but begin to consider the truth of life. Just a moment of experiencing an object and then gone. Non-stop, from birth up to now, to tomorrow and on and on. Because as long as there are conditions for whatever arises, it has to arise. Because condition is ready. Condition that which now arising. Can anyone stop it? To see now? To hear now? There must be conditions for its arising. To see and condition it arises to hear and gone. Never be the same moment. Only from moment to moment. Very, very rapidly. Instantly. Is it true? Is understanding boring? Or the way it is, just arise and falls away non-stop, is so boring. No one can change it. There must be birth, and then seeing, hearing, smelling, until death. again and again and again, each day, each life. Is it boring? Or not yet? All are dhammas. Even boring is a dhamma. Even not boring is also dhamma. Whatever is real is dhamma, a dhamma. So that's now. When there is the understanding of what is real is dhamma, it's not forgotten. It's not forgotten. Hardness is dhamma, it's real. But is this a clock or a table dhamma? See, not dhamma, but hardness is dhamma. Softness is dhamma. Whatever is experienced is there as it is. A reality is dhamma. So life is just nama and rupa. Long or short, depending on conditions. Because sometimes life is short, few years. But sometimes life is so long, 100 years, depending on conditions. So each moment is conditioned. That's why another word again, one by one word, Sankhara Dhamma. Dhamma, Nama Dhamma, Rupa Dhamma, whatever arises must be conditioned. So the conditioned reality arising and falling away is Sankhara Dhamma, never changed. Because it's the truth of each reality. Softness is not always there. Who knows? At moment of touching, softness has a reason, otherwise it cannot be touched. And at moment of touching is moment of experiencing hardness, the reality which experiences Nama Dhamma. And we learn more work, little by little, to have clear understanding and firm confidence of the truth. No need to memorize. When there is the understanding, never change. So shall we go to another word more and more, or just Dhamma, Nama Dhamma, Rupa Dhamma, Sankhara Dhamma? That's why there are the words, all Sankhara Dhamma, Anicca, another word for not permanent, impermanent. Because as soon as it has risen, it falls away instantly. What lasts? What is lasting? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Hearing, sound cannot last. All gone. Sankhara Dhamma must be the conditioned reality arising and falling away, shorter than in split seconds. Is it true? Just begin to understand life from birth up to now, this moment, and on and on. Is it boring? Is it boring?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Very brief summary for the newcomers. So at the moment of touching the microphone, touching Jonathan's shoulder, in truth, in absolute reality, there is just touching and hardness that is felt. So the touching is a Dhamma and the hardness felt is a Dhamma. The microphone is what is thought about. Jonathan's arm is what is thought about. So the touching is a kind of Dhamma that experiences an object, Nama Dhamma. And the hardness that is touched doesn't experience anything. It's a Rupa Dhamma. These were the words that Jan was using. They're not important. And the point she was stressing at the end was that each of these realities, the touching, the hardness, the seeing, the hearing, they are all arising and falling away. They're all impermanent and they're all conditioned. They're conditioned to arise, conditioned to fall away instantly. It seems it's hard all the time, but actually it's just at a moment of touching and then no hardness at all. So it's always back to this moment. And with regard to the boring, we think life is pretty good most of the time, but each reality in life arises and falls away by conditions not in anyone's control. So actually it's not satisfactory. It's not a refuge of any kind because it's always gone. And it's like this, we would say, life after life, seeing, hearing, thinking, likes, dislikes. Usually we think of life as being so great and wonderful, but the Buddha taught each moment is unsatisfactory because it arises and it's gone and it's not in anyone's control. And it continues on like this, life after life, because of ignorance and attachment. So it's another way of looking at life now. And I think you're going to bring
yes,
up a topic.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you very much. I thought our teachers had remind us that the nature of Dhamma is whatever is real. My impressions from the teaching now from Ajahn is a reminder and make us more confidence that there's only Dhamma and Dhamma is only what is real. And what is real is only there for just a moment and then fall away, never return, gone instantly. So that's make the nature of life just a moment of just a momentarily of life. So I just have one small technical question, because we know that the experiencing the Nama always has to arrive with an object. So there's always ayatana, meeting together. One moment there should be citta and its object and cetasika together. So when we say, for example, life is just a moment, just a moment of citta. So is that equally good to say there's only a moment of, for example, a moment of manasikara, or a moment of feeling, or a moment of visible object, for example? Because for me it's easier to relate to the switchings of attention, switchings of manasikara moments by moment. Because for example, seeing for me is like it's very difficult to distinguish between, for example, seeing and hearing. Seems that it's still occurring at the same time, but maybe the attention aspect is more noticeable from a layperson point of view.
Right, thanks for that and good observations. Now I'd like to go back to something you said at the beginning. You said that only Dhammas are real, but I think the way to approach it is that only what is real is a Dhamma, because the task is not to know all the Dhammas. The task is to understand something that is appearing at the present moment and can be directly known. It may be a difference in presentation, if you like, but I find that there's perhaps a tendency to want to look to know different Dhammas that we've learnt about, rather than to have a better understanding of what is actually appearing at the present moment. And it doesn't have to be named. So There might be pleasant feeling, for example. Don't have to label it, but it's there appearing, and potentially can be the object of some consideration. But getting to the point of your question, manasikara, does manasikara ever appear?
My understanding is manasikara is like attention.
Manasikara, by the way, is attention. We're referring to attention, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I missed your answer. Could you repeat it? I said, does it ever appear? And your answer was?
For me, because my understanding is manasikara, the characteristics of manasikara is attention. So it seems to appear each moment. This time I attend to your voice. Next time maybe I attend to the picture. Next time is attend to the flower. Or next time is attention to the chair, for example.
But so you're talking about what is the focus of your attention from time to time.
That seems noticeable, that there's a switching and changing of attentions each moment.
But only certain would be noticed, because there are so many realities arising at the present moment from time to time.
But at this level, it's very little understandings level.
So let's say that's what you're attending to, but we don't have to label it the mental factor manasikara.
Yes.
That's my point.
Okay.
So it is real, what you are referring to for you, but it may or may not be manasikara. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
For example, intention. Let's say we have a strong intention to do something. Does that mean cetana? Cetana is the mental factor of intention. Does that mean cetana is appearing at that moment? No, it's probably just thinking with strong attachment or something.
Yes.
Or so, and if we start to label it as intention, then we're on the wrong track already. But why we would say that the present moment is just a moment of consciousness is because that term consciousness includes, of course, when we use it in that respect, the mental factors that arise with the actual citta. And it goes without saying that consciousness is experiencing an object, but the object could be a thought, a concept, not a reality. So I think to say it's a moment of consciousness is a fair summary, generalization of the present moment.
Yes, and individualization maybe it appears like moment of some characteristic of the consciousness. That's just my point. That yes, in generalization, everything that experience is consciousness, but for each individual and each different timing may appear as some different aspect of the consciousness itself.
That's very true, but if we're just talking about what is life in a general sense, as we were, then to say that life is a moment of consciousness without going any further is a good starting point, I think.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Just briefly talking about the meeting of dhammas at a moment, the ayatanas. So it's at a moment. So at a moment of seeing meets what is visible, and the eye sense has arisen. So at that moment they are the meeting point, the meeting dhammas that associate together ayatanas, and the seeing has to be accompanied by 7 cetasikas. So at that moment all those dhammas which meet together are ayatanas. They associate together. At a moment of hearing, then the seeing, the visible object are not ayatanas. So they are only ayatanas. They are only meeting at the moment when they arise, at the moment when the object is experienced. Like there are countless sounds uprising and falling away in the forest, but if there's no hearing, they are not ayatana. So only at the moment of hearing is the hearing, the ear sense, the sound, ayatana, meeting point. So whatever we talk about, whatever Dhamma we talk about in life, no matter it's seeing or hearing or like or dislike, each one arises for a moment only. And whatever classification, whatever terms the Buddha used, it's always referring to momentary dhammas. So no matter whether we talk about them as meeting points or elements or any other classification, I can't think of a good translation for khandhas. They're just momentary dhammas arising by conditions and falling away.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn, Zon and Sarah. Can I change to another topic? Yeah. In daily life, especially in the conventional truth, the life start with the birth, aging, sickness, and death. So my question is about the aging. So what the reality of aging? So from my point of view, there are some signs, some change of size on the body and mind. So that's why we think that there are some changing about the age from young to older. But in fact, there are some characteristics that even for the little boy or little girl can have some characteristic is a mature people. So I think I want to hear more about the reality of aging. Yeah, thank you.
To add a little more to Annalee's question, did you want to add a little more to that first, Ajahn?
I think that Dhamma is very subtle, and if we just talk about it with no understanding or little understanding and not deep understanding at all, it cannot be known at all. That's why there's so many words we have heard about ayatana and so on. But we learn to understand Dhamma right now, because what is now appearing is that which can be known. Is that right? So now we learn about whatever is real. Now what is real? Whatever is real. And Dhamma. Because Dhamma means whatever is real. It has its characteristic to be known, like sound is real, smell is real, thinking is real. Not anyone, nor anything. Its nature is that which arises by condition, never be changed at all. Seeing cannot be changed through hearing or thinking. So Dhamma is whatever is real, one by one, separately. That which experience the object, the nama dhamma, no matter like, dislike, or memory or feeling or whatever, it experiences the object, and it feels and it remembers and it likes or it dislikes. All adhammas which experience the object. And the reality which cannot experience the object, rupa dhamma. Is it clear now? Or any doubt about nama dhamma and rupa dhamma?
For me, still a lot of doubt because yeah, still flowering, flower and water appearing.
Is doubt real?
Yes, very real.
Does it arise?
Sometimes it appears. It arises a lot, but sometimes it appears.
Is there any conditions for its arising?
It must there must be conditions for everything.
What is it?
Conditions for doubts.
Can right understanding doubt?
Right understanding do not doubt.
Cannot doubt.
Yes.
Cannot.
Yes.
It understands. So what conditions doubt?
The avijja.
That's why we learn to understand each word we talk about as its reality, very subtle. It's real, it's doubt, it's not seeing, it's not thinking. But what condition it to arise? Whatever arises must have conditions for its arising. So what condition doubt to arise?
The ignorance.
Ignorance. Opposite of right understanding. So we learn about the ultimate truth one by one in life now. At moment of understanding, understanding cannot doubt. It understands. But when there's no understanding, it doubt. So doubt is a reality, opposite of understanding. It doubt, not understand. So 2 more Nama-Dhamma, is it? Not forgotten. The distinction between doubt and right understanding. No one. So at moment of doubt, it has to be moment of beginning to attend to the characteristics of doubt as it's real. It's a reality, it's not I or anyone at all. Because the ultimate truth, no matter we talk about different moments, any moments, it has to come to understanding the nature of that which is Dhamma, Nama-Dhamma or Rupa-Dhamma. And Ayatana, see, I heard you say. What is it?
The ayatana of the doubt.
What is Ayatana?
Ayatana is association, meeting together with...
Is there any reality or no reality? That's why not just the word we heard and the definition and the explanation, but the understanding of the truth is the most important. To understand Dhamma, no one at all. So what is Ayatana?
For me, it's very subtle.
Yes, but that we have thought about already. For example, there is seeing, right? A
Yes.
reality. Without that which impinge on the eye base, can there be seeing?
No.
So what is Ayatana?
There's an impingement.
At this moment. What is the reality that is ayatana?
The reality of ayatana.
Seeing. Seeing now. Seeing is ayatana now. What is seen? The Dhamma which is seen is ayatana. Eye base now is ayatana.
Yes.
Passa and so on, contact and other realities are ayatana. So it's now, so it's not just words in the book. Whatever we talk about is that about this moment. So seeing right now has to meet with the object that is seen, and without eye sense there couldn't be any arising of seeing. So it's the realities at this very moment.
Yep. I mean the understanding is so little, so it still does not. The seeing itself is not appear. So I think the ayatanas only appears or only be known after seeing can be recognized.
Talking about what is arising now, that is ayatana. What is the meeting of those particular dhammas at this moment? We know that it's not direct understanding of seeing, but whether or not we have heard the truth, whether or not there's any understanding or not, it's still true that seeing is arising now, and seeing what is visible. So it is the understanding of what is here at this very moment.
Okay.
That's ayatana.
Thank you.
You made a good comment there when you said understanding is so little, because that's the truth, I think, for all of us, most of us anyway. Understanding is what it is. So we should appreciate that there's only so much of the teachings that can be directly known or verified. The rest is book knowledge and some perhaps intellectual kind of consideration. But it's important that we not try to get ahead of us, of our limited understanding, by trying to experience aspects of the teachings we've heard about but are not capable of verifying for ourselves.
Okay. Just about to speak first.
So the word ayatana is not just to be remembered, right? And follow instantly. But it has to be understood, the reality, which is ayatana. Because whatever is real is a reality. But we learn to understand the truth gradually, because ignorance has been accumulated. How long, how enormous, to cover up the truth of what we are talking about right now. That's why beginning to consider, to understand, it doesn't matter who remember the words in the Tipitaka fluently, but what about the understanding of what is there right now, not just the word, but understanding the truth of it, not to be remembered, but not to forget. Because understanding does not forget. It understands. It's not the reality which forget or not forget, but once it's understood, can it be ignorant about that? That once it's understood? Impossible. That's why all depends on conditions, firm understanding, not firm memory of the word. So now, nama, dhamma, rupa, dhamma, whatever is real is dhamma. What is ayatana? Is it real?
Ayatana, I don't understand much about it.
That's why we learn to understand the truth. Just Dhamma can be classified by many aspects, by its nature, by its function, and so on. So learn little by little, not all at once. But there is seeing right now what is real. There is seeing right now what is real. Not the word in the book. Now, there is seeing right now what is real. Now.
It's only seeing.
Yeah, seeing is real. We don't have to think much when we understand what is real is Dhamma. Seeing is Dhamma. What kind of Dhamma is it?
It's a Nama.
Nama Dhamma. It experiences. So there must be the object which is experienced. What is the object which seeing sees?
It's just one dot of visible. Just a visible object.
Okay. No matter we use what word, it's seen now. No doubt whether it's light or color, it doesn't matter. It's seen. Instantly. When seeing is there arising, it's seen. So can there be seeing without that which is seen?
No, they must be together.
Can there be that which is seen without seeing?
Yes. No, okay.
See? So, seeing must be there. And that which is seen has to be there in a moment. So when we talk about just a moment, we talk about ayatana. When we talk about citta, kusala and akusala arising with such and such, we don't talk about ayatana. But when we talk about ayatana, we talk just about one moment only. What are there in a moment? They have to be there together, the meeting point. If it's not there, it cannot be that moment, seeing. So at moment of seeing is ayatana, isn't it? It has to be there. And that which is seen is ayatana as well. And what is more than that, we haven't talked about it yet. But later, when there is the understanding more and more, no doubt about ayatana. We don't talk about Dhamma in general. We just talk about Dhamma at the very precise moment, one moment of seeing. And when we talk about Citta as ayatana, one moment right then of that only moment, ayatana. What are there? So even there are ear, it's not there, meeting place or point at moment of ayatana. That's why we learn more precise about Dhamma. We learn about ayatana, just one moment. What are they? That's why when we talk about more Dhammas, we learn what are they, not just seeing and that which is seen. But as much as we know, little by little, seeing is there together with that which is seen. Both are ayatana. And later on, we learn more about what are there as well, little by little. But not forget what is meant by ayatana. Just one moment only. What are there? Ayatana.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, may I add? Oh, sorry.
I just want to, just before we go to another question, back to Lee and aging. Briefly, because I know there's a bit of a queue. So yes, at the moment of seeing, one sees color, different color, and one knows that there is aging of the body, like you said, or you see with a child changes. But in the deepest sense, each rupa that is seen, is it aging as soon as it's arisen?
Aging is not the reason.
The visible object that is seen now, it arises, and before it falls away, it has to age. So we talk about the stages of a rupa. It rises, and then it ages and falls away. So actually, in the deepest sense, we can say each conditioned reality ages as soon as it's arisen and falls away.
But it's the rise and fall away at one moment, and then we have a new.
Yes, but then we can even talk about sub-moments. It's just at a moment, so quick, but without aging, it cannot fall away. So quick, all in a moment.
But that the meaning, I mean that is the at one moment one sanya one moment there's arise and fall away, and then we have another moment with a new chitta rupa, right?
So new rupa experience.
So it's not
even in that,
like that.
Even in that moment, that rupa arises, ages, and falls away. It arises, exists for an instant, ages, and falls away.
And if I could just add on your question, when the Buddha spoke about birth, aging, sickness, and death, he was teaching in conventional language.
Yes.
He was not talking about realities of those names. He was talking about all realities, because in the First Noble Truth, for example, he follows the reference when he talks about birth is suffering, aging is suffering, sickness and death. That is to say, the 5 khandhas of grasping are suffering. So that explains that when he's referring to birth, aging, sickness and death, he's actually talking about all conditioned realities.
So can I understand that aging is also can see from the when we understand about the suffering, the reality of suffering?
Aging is a concept.
Yes, it's concept, but it's still the conventional truth, right?
Conventional truth, yes.
Yeah. So like birth, we can understand from Buddha teaching about the moment of birth,
yes,
right? And that is the
yes.
same. But
yes.
about the
aging
and sickness,
because it's not that the rupas age, but because each rupa is there for only a moment and followed by another.
Yeah.
So the aging is seen because over a succession of moments. There's no reality of aging. And the rupas don't change, but because they are not the same rupa.
The new rupa have another characteristic, but
no, the new rupa has the same characteristic, but a different shape and form, different detail.
The detail is different, right? Because there it consists of 8 invisible. Yeah.
Sorry?
In these individual sorry, I cannot speak this. Sakrupa.
Kalapa, yes.
Kalapa.
What about it? Yes.
Yeah.
But
rupas that must arise together.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it make it different, right?
I'm sorry?
It make the rupa is different. This rupa arise and fall away is different from the previous one.
Yes, exactly so.
So hardness always has the characteristic of hardness, but it's conditioned by the other primary rupas that it arises together with in that group. So it's the hardness that is touched here is different from the hardness that's touched here, but it still has the characteristic of hardness.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's a technical explanation, but a parallel example would be movement. Say movement is known. Movement is not a reality. It's a concept. So we experience the movement of something, but it's just different moments. There's no movement happening.
In reality, in one moment, no movement. Yeah.
Each moment is unmoving.
Yes, yes. the
I guess what you are trying to get it. It's what condition the different rupas that are perceived as aging, right? Like now there are different rupas, but a few years later the rupa look, well, we look differently because the rupas must be different from the ones that are produced now. And what conditions that, right?
That's point. Yes, I also want to know about the condition of aging, and from my point of view, one of the conditions should be karma, but I'm not sure is the karma of kusala, not kusala. It should be akusala karma, right?
Let's let Ajahn add more to this topic about aging, Ajahn.
Dhamma. Shall we talk about what is there right now to understand more about what we have talked about? For example, ayatana. Is there any feeling now?
Yes.
Is it real?
It's real, yeah.
Is it Dhamma?
Yes.
What kind of Dhamma?
Present Nama is Nama. Nama Dhamma.
Is it ayatana?
Yes.
When?
When it's meeting with the body sand meeting the object.
Is it now?
It's now, yeah.
Okay, so it's only ayatana when it's arising right now.
Yes.
Like if there's no pleasant bodily feeling now, it's not ayatana.
But yes, that's right, yeah.
The question is, when is it? It's now if it's arising.
Is there aversion?
Not now.
But the question is there aversion?
Yes.
Is it ayatana?
Yes.
When?
Is experience the
when?
When. Is the experience the
experiences
meeting.
When is it ayatana?
Yeah, I know that ayatana is meeting point, but about the when have dosa or a person is the meeting the object, right? Like the experience the unpleasant feeling.
Is it now? It's only ayatana when it's now. So when is it? Only now if it's arising. If there's no aversion now, it's not ayatana. So it's only ayatana when it's now.
So it's now. So but it's the same like when we talk Dhamma. It's also so it's now, right? So what the another aspect when we only answer that it's now?
Simple answer.
I think we could also say when it arises, it's ayatana, not otherwise.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, John.
So now more precise about ayatana. There is feeling, and it is ayatana when it arises, because it arises with other reality, which has to be there, ayatana. So just in a moment, what is ayatana? But we don't learn more about reality. We just know about Dhamma, Nama Dhamma, Rupa Dhamma. And for Nama Dhamma, there are two different kinds. See, little by little, we learn to understand the truth. Dhamma, whatever is real, feeling is real. Pleasant, unpleasant moment is real. Whatever is real is Dhamma, whether it is Rupa Dhamma or Nama Dhamma. And for Nama Dhammas, there are two kinds of Nama Dhamma. The only one reality, which is the chief of experiencing an object, is different from other reality, which experience the same object, but not as the chief of experiencing the object. And what does it mean when we say it is the chief of experiencing the object? It means that there are other Nama Dhamma arising together, but we don't talk about it yet. So we talk about the two kinds of Nama Dhamma. One is the chief of experiencing, never change, never like, never remember, just experiences the object clearly because it's the chief of experiencing the object. Citta, the word for what now experiences what is experienced, is citta. That is seeing right now. So, what sees, what experiences the object clearly, whether it's dark or light, blue or red, fake or real, fake diamond and real diamond. If citta does not experience it clearly, it cannot be known. But citta cannot know whether it's fake or not, but it experiences the objects clearly each moment. Nothing can perform that function of the chief of experiencing, the citta. One more word, Nama Dhamma, and then citta is the chief of experiencing. So the other Nama Dhamma also experience the object, but not as the chief. Is it easy to realize the nature of citta? Not at all, because usually the object which is seen, heard, is the object of attention, rather than that which arises to see it, to hear it, to smell it, to touch it, to think about it. See, this is life, daily life, from moment to moment until death, and not yet. There must be condition for anything which arises after death too. That's why we learn about the truth of life and clear understanding of any reality, so they are not mixed, because right understanding can begin to understand one reality at a time. Is citta ayatana?
Yes.
Why?
It arises and then fall away.
So how can it be ayatana? Just citta arise and fall away?
In one moment.
There must be that which citta sees or hears. Otherwise, how can there be seeing without that which is seen? Or how can there be sound without hearing? Appearing. Sound is there, but when it does not appear, it means that citta does not experience it. We say that this is hard, but hardness does not appear when citta does not experience it. So at moment of citta arising, there must be that which is experienced. Both are ayatana because they have to be there together. So when we talk about Dhamma, more precise, just one moment, ayatana.
So to be more precise, we can say seeing is ayatana when it arises at this moment and experiences what is visible, and what is visible is ayatana at that moment. and what is visible cannot be seen unless it has impinged on the eye sense. So eye sense is also ayatana at that moment, this moment when it has arisen, at that moment of seeing, and the mental factors that arise with seeing are also ayatana at this very moment now, at the moment of experiencing what is visible.
So when Ajahn asked you why citta is ayatana, the answer is actually not because it falls away, but because it doesn't arise alone. It arises together with other realities.
Yes,
and that's
yes.
what makes it ayatana.
Yeah, that's right. It's much clearer. Yeah. Thank you, Zoe and Sarah.
Who was it you wanted to ask?
Okay. Earlier, Tanajan mentioned that the table isn't real and the clock isn't real, and that they are concepts, and that I mean, at the intellectual level, it's known that it's a rapid succession of rupa arising and falling away, and I thought it might be of benefit not only to myself and everyone, and especially the newcomers, to further delineate between concept and thinking, because the table isn't real, but early on a person might assume that it's rupa, so it's real, but it's actually a concept. So we're running out of time, and it's going way back to like 9:50 this morning, so it might not be the time to address it.
In the beginning, to understand the distinction between what is real and what is a concept. So hardness is real, it's touched, but the microphone is an idea, a concept that is thought about. So that was a good point. Thanks, Eve. Yes, maybe we can continue more on it this afternoon. Anything you'd like to say before we finish, Ajahn?
Can I just 1 minute question about the ayatana at the moment of the doubt? Can you elaborate on the object?
At that moment of doubt, is there thinking?
Yes.
Okay, so the citta that thinks is ayatana, and the doubt that accompanies it is ayatana. Ignorance has to be there, it's ayatana. Other akusala mental factors, other unwholesome states are ayatana. So the thinking, the citta that thinks is ayatana, the doubt, the ignorance, and any other unwholesome mental states arising at that moment.
How about the object?
Are ayatanas.
How about the object?
The object of that doubt is a story, a concept. It's not a reality. Ayatanas are only realities.
Okay.
So no, the concept is not ayatana.
So meaning the doubt cannot experience the reality.
The doubt is experiencing the object of thinking. There's doubt about, is it true there really is visible object seen now? It's a concept, it's an idea, the object of thinking. So it's a good question at moments of thinking, whether with doubt or without doubt, thinking with kindness. People are not ayatanas, for example. So the thinking is ayatana, the metta is ayatana, the other mental factors are ayatana, but people are not.
And just to state the obvious, perhaps, but for everyone's clarification, reality, no reality arises on its own. Any reality always arises together with other realities, hence ayatana.
So there are ayatanas at every moment.
Because there is the citta, the experiencing at every moment, so ayatanas at every moment.
Thank you, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, John and Achan, John and Sarah. So we can have some